All right, Joe. I'll let everybody else pile in. But I'm not gonna take too long today. I'm gonna briefly go over the chart, just on a larger time frame, and kind of show you guys what I'm looking at and what you guys should be looking for as well, or keep in mind. And of course, if you guys see something different, please let me know. Um, that's what makes us all better, right? Get to think outside the box and think critically. Um, I see Leah already had a question in the chat, asking what kind of strategy I use. Um, I I guess you would say like I basically trade price action. That's the best concept that worked for me on cryptos. Um, all the other concepts, I mean, they do work, but this is just what I'm comfortable with. For those that don't know me, like I started trading back in 2016 into 2017, um, all on cryptos, all on Bitcoin, um, primarily investing, and I'm gonna go over that today as well. The difference between investing, at least my take on it, between investing and trading, primarily cryptocurrencies. That's what my expertise is in. So I'm gonna just primarily stick to that. I do trade the currencies, as you can see on this side. I do trade the currencies, but primarily cryptos is what I do. And we got some other great educators as part of the Dream Traders Academy that's in the Discord, so you'll be able to get some high value knowledge off of them as well. And of course, I'll fill in when needed, and they'll do the same on the crypto side. But I will go over today. I primarily wanted to go over the difference between investing and trading, and I'm gonna show you the key differences. I'm gonna just keep it simple. I'm gonna pull up Word, and then we'll just go through the differences, and you guys can write down the notes on that if need be. Um, exactly how to execute those, the differences between investing and trading, and just knowledge on how to get it done. That will be part of the paid group, just so that you guys are aware. But for those that are, quick on their feet, want to learn primarily, I'll show you the overall objective between the both. You know, but on the charts, um, with cryptos, I like to play higher time frames. So I know this is already marked up. I'm not going to go through how I'm marking this up yet. I will have a specific call on how to do that. But just to give you guys a overall perspective of things, I mean, like I said, I've been trading Bitcoin for years now, and history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. All right. And what that means is like stuff won't happen exactly the same way, but you will have you know, hi- you'll have historical data to kind of give you an idea on what traders may be looking to do in the future, when the same scenarios play out, because they have the same data that you have, to go ahead and come up with a educated guess on what things are going to happen, what's going to happen. So I want to show you guys that like primarily I just trade my support and resistance levels, and utilize the volume, as you can see, to uh, to give me an indication on if we're going higher or lower. It's really that simple, and it's worked for me. It's worked well for me every single time. I take about 2 to 3 swing trades on Bitcoin probably a month, and I average over 10,000 pips with them. And it's just letting things play out based off of the major support and resistances. So we'll fast forward to this last bull run. End of the year and into this year, and then of course the run to 60K. So I have my major resistance zone that was played out here back at 17. And so this here was just an area of interest for me because you have to understand that if a price just doesn't get touched or broken for months, years at a time, like that's a major resistance area, right? We're touching this bottom of this box or attempting to several times until we broke into it on rising volume, and we of course broke out of it and found support, which is a very good sign immediately, and we continued our way up again on rising volume. Now, it's good to know your volume is rising. As you can see, I mean, just to kind of paint a clearer picture for y'all, just in that time span. And mind you, I'm on the daily, so this is a lot of data that is compact in these candles. So off of this rising value, of course, we're naturally seeing a rise in price, but it's good to know where your resistances are. Of course, at this point, we didn't know that 40K was resistance because let me do this. All of that back there never happened before, right? So if we look to our left, we never been here before, price wise. And once we got to here, I like to point something out. Round numbers, 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, and crypto, especially Bitcoin, are psychological levels. There's always going to be some type of resistance, some type of something's going to happen at those psychological levels, regardless of resistance or support. So keep that in mind. Every time I am trading, like it's funny we're at that 40K level because we're at that level right now, and we're looking at data back from the beginning of the year. So again, psychological levels will always have a playback, and it did at around 40, and it's not going to be the round number, right? We're trading here, so it's always a average area. Hence why I utilize boxes. Crypto is small, so an area can be $10,000 wide, and it'll play in it and go sideways on the grand scheme of things, which is what actually played out here. So just looking at this previous data, because one thing I like to do is look at the history, just mark up things that happened in the past, right? And then, kind of do a scroll to see how it actually played out. Just so you can work on your strategy, work on your techniques and marking this thing up. And of course, now you get to learn how this thing actually moves. Not everything moves the same way, and there's a pattern and language to it all. So psychological area, we get rejected hard. And this is a hard rejection because shoot, we dropped about 10K, right? Almost 12K. So you have to take that into consideration. Um, you have to take both this pullback on where it started and where it ended into consideration. Draw a box. Draw a box, stretch it all the way out, and see how things play out. You will be amazed on how things come to a T. So you let this play out, and you can see how price is respecting the bottom of that box. This should be telling you that this is a good sign, that the area of support, which is at the bottom of your box, and of course the area of resistance is at the top of your box, they are holding true. to what you drew out, your analysis, etc. As you can see, we get to the top of the box and we have some wicks of rejection. But we get this bullish candle off of some rising volume. And this is how volume kind of plays a part into this. Think of a car, right? When you're approaching like a speed bump, which is your resistance at this point, if you don't have any momentum, right? You didn't press the accelerator. You're really not like if you just let the car roll towards the speed bump, you're not going to get over there, get over that speed hump. So I like to think of it in that same concept. If there's no volume as you're approaching that resistance, which is a speed hump, right? Is resisting you from or is resisting the price from getting over there. If there's no rising volume, no money coming into it, it's not going to get over that hump. And the same is true when you're coming down, right? And of course, it's good to know your candles as well, and I'll go over that. But the same is true when you're coming down. If you're looking at these candles that brought it down to the bottom, right? The very next candle wasn't that much of an engulfing, but the next three or four candles, their volume was just very low. So the price has no momentum to break below this resistance or support in this example, right? So that's just a indicate not yeah sort of like a second opinion indicator to look at. It is not an end all be all right, nothing in this world of trading is taking 100%. It's a game of probabilities. All right, so you go over your techniques. You go over what other indicators you want to look at or whatever to support the idea that you may have, support or deny that idea, and you make a educated guess on if you want to take that play or not, right? Based off of risk analysis and other things. Nothing is 100% true on this, but this is one thing that has worked for me. Uh, I would say 90% of the time. Low volume when you're approaching a support is a good thing. It's going to find its support. So you want to try to take your entries as close to that support as possible. And have your stop loss just on the other side of it, just in case it breaks down. Then you're taking a smaller loss there as opposed to taking an entry there, right, where the white line is, and having your stop loss all the way down here. That's a bigger loss, or based off of your risk analysis. So that's always a good look. And on the other side of things, rising volume as you're approaching a resistance is often a good thing that you will break through that resistance. Um, and of course, the same is true on the opposite end. All right. So again, we're in no man's land. All right. We don't know where things are gonna go. Again, 50K, we was moving sideways at it, but things were just bullish that, and plus we know what was happening at this point. Everybody was trying to get into crypto some way, somehow, whether it was through Dogecoin or NFTs or whatever the case may be, all the other safe moves and stuff. So we were very bullish, but again, you know, no one knew where this was going to end up at, unless you were a whale or something, right? So this is where knowing your candles and knowing how to judge the market is going to come into play. Once you start seeing this doji come into play, this indecision in the market, because that's what this is, and this is on the daily. So the market was very indecisive on if it wanted to push up or not. And as soon as you got this, flat bottom here, I mean flat top here, overall, and these are candles, that's just a perfect indication that we're pulling back violently. And again, we're on the daily, so on the smaller time frame, it would have just looked worse. So let things play out. You mark your zones, and of course, you already had this resistance here now turned somewhat support, right? So this could have been your sell all the way down. Again, this is on the daily. So on the smaller time frames, you would know where your target would be. All right, my target is to that support. And of course, you take your profits along the way. And I'll show you guys how to do that as well. Um, you see that this is holding off of support. Again, another doji, and you got a lot of buying action off of that final candle right here. So you're taking this buy again, and your target is that resistance that you just left. Yes, some people would be like, well, this went past the resistance. That's what you call a false breakout. All right. So you had a candle shoot past the last high, right? I call this the local high, just in my own terminology, but the last high, it went past it. So most people would jump into trades like this, but you have to. Um, I always tell people that like you have to wait for the breakout and retest, and take your entry off of the retest based off of um, analyzing the candles and the volume on, hey, is it going to find support here or is it going to continue to fall? All right, and if it's going up, great, right? Take it off the retest. No need to jump into it and you know so early, and now you're in a trade that is possibly going to hit stop loss. So that's a false breakout because it never found support here and fell back, right? Of course, things were still bullish, so it attempted again and again, and it just kept breaking down. Broke down a couple times. Again, all of these are just essentially false breakouts based off of what you drew on your analysis. Well, what I drew on my analysis. It never found support on top of this range. I mean, you could say here a bit, but low volume, falling volume. So you got a little divergence here. Um, so again, you may have like I may have a thought like, hey, this is finding support here. But then I look at my volume and see that it's falling. So I'm not going to take a play until I see, a candle, a volume stick that's larger than the last one. Like I like to play that as well. Like, hey, there's a lot more volume that's coming than the past volume, so we might find support here. We never really did that. We started to get a little rising volume here, but again, this highest volume candle here, if you look to the left, it's just as big as that red candle that took us out. So that's not enough to keep us up, and of course, the rest is history. We started just falling, and again, keep in mind these are daily candles. So this is a huge drop from 59K all the way to 51. That's $8,000 in one day. So keep that in mind. So this is my simplistic, um, you know, uh, markup and way to go about things. Sometimes I do use some moving averages, the 200 and the 50 on larger time frames, and then the 8 and the 14 on smaller time frames. If you're doing quick trades, um, those do help a lot to take support to take your trades off of that. And have one of my friends or whatever basically code that into this particular system. I'll let you guys. I don't know if he's still selling it. If you guys wanted it, but it basically tells you how to buy and to buy and sell based off of those a couple indicators, and stuff. But again, it's not to be taken true. You still have to understand where your support and resistances levels are, and understand that basic, naked trade, charting or whatever. And then you can pop in other indicators to either support or deny the original analysis that you made. All right, that's the best way you're going to actually learn and understand what's going on. Like, for example, this is what's been happening. I've been expecting this whole time, been in the buy since the bottom of here, and my TP was at the top of here, well, right before it. The reason being is because we've been in this box since May, just moving sideways. When you look at it on the grand scheme of things, we're just going sideways. Okay. We've got some bullish action, and of course, you can see how the volume is just dwindling until it started to kick up. We got some bullish action here, but I'm not totally bullish, like back to 60K bullish, until we break above that 40K psychological. It's up to like 42K, whatever. I want to see us settle at like 42K. So being able to break above this and find support above here, that's when I'm really bullish on this. But that's not to say that we can't take trades along this. Um, this here, so this was a last analysis that I had on a free one. I was telling them that this was the least likely path because we didn't have that high volume when we were approaching the support. We might have done something like this, but shoot, it went super bullish and went straight to the top. But here's my new analysis on what we may do in the short term. Um, So of course we took this bullish stance here. We may bounce back down here and play up here a bit if we're bullish before we break above and find support on here. All right. So yeah, that's kind of what Bitcoin tends to do when it's trying to break above, um, a resistance, unless you have these bullish just push. But half the time, these bullish push are just off of that. It's not coordinated retail, but just investors coming in all at once or dumping money back from gains they made on smaller coins and stuff like that. So retail isn't making this huge push like that. So that's your big banks and your whales that are doing that. But yeah, we're kind of getting a doji here on the daily, and if we look at the 4 hour, um, yeah, yeah we got a lot of selling on there. So yeah, we may come down here. Reverse back up and try to break it, but you have to pay attention to that volume because we're, decreasing here. And that's decreasing volume at a resistance, so I'm expecting a sell. And it may take a while to play out, or it may just, volume may come in and it stays above here, moves sideways before breaking through. But that's just what you have to wait and see on. Right now, I'm just a bit more bearish because we're hitting at that resistance um, on lower and lower volume. That's just my overall analysis right now. We just wait and see. From here, we already, my bad. I was like traveling last week, so I couldn't send my analysis out. I had to make a drive from Jersey to Houston, but either way, I'm gonna let y'all know on what I see overall for the full sell. Right now, I am a little bit bearish. Let's see what the hourly look like. It's just the low volume that's throwing that off. But either way, I'll let you guys know. Just stand by. But this look like a sell overall. Do you guys have any questions at the moment? Y'all can either unmute or um, I'm bearish at the moment, um, just based off of what I see, but I have to wait and see if there's any incoming volume. Um,
To monitor that volume, and I guess find the divergence, is it better to do it on a higher time frame, or does it not matter?
it's based off of how you're about to trade it. Um, if you're if you're looking to swing it, I mean, it's best to do your overall analysis on higher time frames, right? And then you could jump in and see if things are the same on the lower time frames. But based off of how you trade too, that kind of matters. But like if you're about to scalp it or if you're about to um, swing it overall. Hold on. I'm gonna take this out. I want to see if it kind of. See, this is a bullish stance, but I want to see the volume come in with it. So it's still on its uptrend, right? Still on its uptrend. We have hit that resistance um, a couple times. We don't have the volume that we had on this bullish move, that which would be great, but it's understandable because there's a lot of selling pressure. So there's some selling pressure, obviously, at this level because it's a major resistance we've been in for a couple months now. Now, if you're if I was scalping, I would take the buy here to the top, right? If I was scalping, and wait to see if it actually breaks above that resistance and find support above it. So on that stance, I'm bullish, as you can see. But overall, I don't trade on small time frames. I know some of you guys do. So if you're going to scalp this thing, I mean, I probably wouldn't take it now or anything. Uh, Probably here. Yeah, no, like I like at least 2-to-1 ratios. But if you are scalping in trying to take that, like this would be the safe bet trade overall to take. But that's just on a smaller time frame. For me, the bigger move that you would make here would be for Bitcoin to break above here and settle, right? And it, at least on the 4 hour to break above 40K and settle. And by settling, I mean find support above here. And then from there, you're hitting 50K quickly. You don't have much resistance from here, from 40K to 50K. 50K is just that psychological level, and if I just draw a line at around 50K, so right here, you can see how that kind of plays a part, has played a part in the past. But we don't have much. I mean, we have little minor supports that are along the way. Of course, you'll have 45 that has some touches in the past or whatever, but you're going to 50K pretty quickly, especially if it's on a bullish stance. And of course, 60, around 63 is the main target, but 60 is the trading target for me. So again, I want to see this volume come in. Um, I'm I'm bearish until we break 40K. I'm bullish on a small time frame that hey, we found support on that. Um, we found support on that uptrend, and now we're making another push to break 40K. So you could take a little quick little trade type shit, but again, that's not the big move for me personally. The big move is again what I told you, breaking above here and finding that support, and then shooting up. Like, look at this damn volume stick. Like, that's crazy. This might have been the Apple buy. Nah, they bought already. They don't buy in one candle like that unless it was like a major support level. And this really wasn't a major support level. Somebody wanted to. Oh no, there is a. I think there was an article. I'll see if I find it. It was like a $2 million long bet, like a trading bet or whatever, on Bitcoin that was placed, and the price skyrocketed after that. But yeah, I hope this gets y'all right. Where do I get crypto news? Oh, so I get crypto news from like the basic places like Cointelegraph, but there's another one because some of these. Let me tell you about the crypto space. All right, it is corrupt like a motherfucker. All right, so it's corrupt like a motherfucker. And yeah, I do use Brave. Make sure y'all all download the Brave browser. I was gonna let everybody know about that. Like, earn you some free crypto, and like this is all for free. It's 10 bats or whatever. Off of this browser, you could do it on your phone too. Do it everywhere else that you can download a browser on. And it blocks everything ads wise, and little ads will pop up on the bottom corner. If you want to, if you click on them, you'll earn some Brave tokens. But back to this new stuff. Crypto is very is very corrupt. So there's a lot of big companies in crypto that will buy these news platforms or whatever and just kind of push the stuff that they want. Just like how, I mean, the media is controlled these days. So like some of the stuff, like some of these news, it's good to know, but if you really want to know stuff, like it's on Reddit and Twitter. Like Reddit and Twitter, because oh yeah, because I had to change one thing. All right, so on Reddit, right? Just go to the different rooms. I mean, go to Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin for beginners, stuff like that. Um, and you'll get the different news and stuff about Bitcoin and people talking about them. Of course, like with everything, take it with a grain of salt. Um, and get it going. So Reddit would be the good one. Did I reference the other indicators that I use? Um, I didn't, but I don't really use that any other indicators. besides the volume. I might use like the MACD, and that's just to give me perspective on things, and the RSI. But nah, just the volume. Like you just want to learn support, resistance, trend lines, and volume. Like it is that simple. I know everybody want to have a extensive trading this and that. Like you just have to identify your major support and resistances and take your buys there. After you analyze if it's going to buy based off of that volume trick that I told you. Like when things are moving sideways at a level, that's more often than not bullish. All right. Even on a smaller time frame, like that's more often than not bullish. So from there, you start getting bullish. You draw a trend line all the way up, and you just look at how many times. I mean, obviously, I drew the trend line based off of how many times it got touched, but this here could be extended all the way up and see how it plays off. But it naturally creates a triangle or a bullish flag in this case, because you got the flagpole, and yeah, this is a little trick for y'all. Let's do a vertical line. It's basically from here. Oh shit, no. Not vertical line. Use that trend line. Top of the pole to the base. Take that. So off the breakout, this will be your initial target. After the breakout and shit. So that's usually a safe bet TP after it breaks out from this bullish flag. But neither here nor there. This is all that I use. I keep it simple. Do I trade XRP? Uh, I I do on MT4. I do not invest in XRP. XRP move fast when it's moving, so it's a great scalper like this. It's a nice little scalper, and that's the funny part. I haven't traded XRP since it was Thanksgiving. I remember, and just the basic stuff that I drew. If I mean, extend this all the way out. That's what I mean. Like, just draw your analysis and then extend them out and see how they come into play. Come on, motherfucker. All right, fuck it. But these still come into play. It is on the daily, so look at it on a small time frame. Somewhat accurate. Right? Even with the wick touching right on top of the box. Somewhat accurate. It's an area. We're coming down here. So you're seeing how things, especially this fucking resistance line. Damn. All right, you're seeing how things come into play, and you just follow your zones. Like for example, we broke below here. We know there's gonna be a retest. You could take your entry for the sell off the retest because low volume, right? Low volume was lowering as it was approaching that resistance. So you take your sell, and your target. Shit, I mean, your first target could have been here based off of this recent support. Because as you can see, how many times that kind of touch over. That could have been your first target, but you had your second target down here based off of way back here. All right, and that's it. All right, let me show y'all let me chop it up with y'all on this investing side because this is pretty important. for y'all to understand. All right, we're going to keep this real simple. Da, da. Don't mind my typing. I'm a terrible typer. So crypto trading versus investing. Um, oh no. Let's draw a table. Fuck. This shit is weird. All right, never mind. Let's just keep it simple. Now, how the hell do I get back to my cursor? Yo, this wild. Give me a second. This mouse is. I hate when these things get some dirt on them. Give me a second, yo. While y'all wait, if y'all got any questions, just type them in the chat. Uh, which are this whole want to grow a smaller account. Um, I mean, I only really trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP on occasion. Just close this. But I would say that yeah, I would say just there's divergence on no. So divergence is just it doesn't just relate to volume. It can relate to any indicator or whatever. It might be the RSI that's moving downwards, but price is moving up. That's a divergence. The divergence just means that they're moving in opposite ways. Easiest way. But for Sean, like just trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. Crypto overall moves fast, so if you're worried about that, you're gonna have a hard time on the crypto side. All right, so we're going to talk about trading. Yeah, so trading, investing. Okay, and I'm going to kind of give you guys an overall understanding and characteristic from my perspective on it, right? So, and this just relates to cryptocurrencies. So trading Bitcoin is, trading cryptocurrencies. You're basically, yeah, you're paper trading the price, all right? You're betting on the price going up and down. You're, making smart decisions, et cetera, et cetera. That's done on MT4, things called Bybit, any type of leverage trading, that's what you're doing. You're just trading the price, and you're you're not actually buying those cryptos, which is not that good, but not that bad either. Um, yeah, you're not actually buying the crypto, because far too often I hear people say, "Yeah, I invest in XRP because I traded on MT4." Like, no, that at least that's not what I mean. Like, what you're doing is actually just trading it, which is not a bad thing because you get to make your quick cash or whatever. But it's not really a good thing because overall, like, for me, I do look into the I look into the future more. Like, I try to invest for the future, just long term overall. Because I mean, for me, short term, I'm good. It's just that short term, a lot of things can swing left and right? So it's not bad that you can play short term or have a short term plan, but at least have a plan, and that plan includes an exit strategy, and that's what people fail to realize, or to put into consideration or into play, is the exit strategy on when you invest on, or trade something, etc. So I know when we do trade on MT4, we have a TP. That's an exit strategy. But when you're for what we're about to do with me and crypto, we're going to invest into different things. Some are long term, some are short term, some are mid term. They have, in a sense, a expiration date on when you would want to kind of cash out, just to take advantage of the hype, the pump, etc., and come out winning. Like, a lot of people since Bitcoin left 60K had just like been, man, F that, or I'm not looking at that, etc., etc. And I'm just laughing because it's like everybody was an expert not too long ago. Like, what's going on? Meanwhile, I'm still making money because I leverage both the trading and the investing. I have buy orders sitting on, levels that are, you know, like 29K. I had a lot of orders sitting in there that I would put into it week by week, month by month, where like I would just put pending orders at those key levels, those bank levels, those well levels in the crypto space, so that I can leverage those big wicks that you see that shoot up in like a minute or whatever. I'm in those buys too. Like, trust and believe. And I love when things pull back because I know that my orders are being filled, and I love that things are pumping because I know that shit, I'm making money overall. And while it's pulling back, I'm taking sales on the trading side. So you can't really lose if you have an overall plan, right? If you have a plan for almost every scenario, or as many scenarios that you can come up with for a plan for, on how to still make money in any type of market. So the whole point of this is being able to leverage both sides. So on the trading side, you guys get it, right? You're just paper trading, MT4, you're leverage trading. You're not actually buying the crypto, but another person. It's great for quick cash. All right, great for quick cash. Um, the next thing, right? Investing. So there's two things in investing, two strategies. One is dollar cost averaging, or pretty much compounding for my stock people or my finance people. And what I call the or what the industry called the little old lady strategy. All right. So, and of course, you could just one time buy, but I'm less bullish on doing that. So, dollar cost averaging or compounding is simply this. Matter of fact, let me give you what overall investing is. Overall investing, at least for me or what I'm doing, I'm actually looking for like the next Google, the next Microsoft, right? So I am investing long term, right? I'm looking for those companies that's gonna make it out at the top. So I am doing analysis on the companies, on the teams, um, the idea as well. So what I mean by the idea, yes, this company may have a great idea on how to get, I don't know, how to get something done, right? But you still have to do your due diligence as an investor because that's what you are at this point. When you're on that investing side, think Shark Tank, think all the other investing videos that you might have seen. That investor isn't just jumping at the investment because they have a great marketing package or that they have a great marketing promo video. No, they're asking the proper questions, primarily on, hey, can this team deliver on getting my money back and making me more money? Right. So you have to look at the overall team. You have to look at if that team can execute. You have to look at uh, their overall. I mean, some of these crypto companies are small, so they don't. I mean, not small, but shoot, they just started, so they don't have any track history. They don't have anything for you to go off of. So you have to just follow their development, right? You have to follow how well they are following their laid out plan, their roadmap. You have to look at just overall if there's work being done on the code, because like I've told you guys before, some of you guys, like cryptocurrencies is just code. So if that code's not being developed and worked on pretty much on a daily, then that's a problem. That's a red flag. You have to see different partnerships that they're making in and out of the crypto space. You have to look at just overall the company. You have to really invest yourself in understanding what that company is doing, or there's no real reason to invest in that company. Like you don't have enough information to really invest in that company because all companies have marketing, right? All of them can whip up something real quick to make you think or let you know that, hey, this is the better cryptocurrency for you. But is it really, right? That's why you have a lot of pump and dump scams. Even Mark Cuban got caught in a pump and dump scam with that crypto called Titan. You guys can Google that. So I literally have to warn you guys that this is a it's a fucked up space, but you just have to understand the rules of the game and play them, to your best of the abilities, and you're gonna come out on top because there's a lot of people that are just throwing money into this space without knowing nothing. And it's sad to say, but the money, they always say that strong hands always attract the money, right? Those are the people that can always, that will keep their money within themselves. That's not just throwing money out there, and that's true in the crypto space too. If you heard something on Twitter from like a big name person or on TV on the news or whatever about a crypto, it's already too late because not saying that it's too late to make any type of gains, but you're not going to make the most gains like how you think. And a lot of people fail to realize that there are these people that just go from project to project doing the same thing over and over again, where they'll come in on over 80% of the coin's volume and have a public sale for people to get in or think they were getting in early. Meanwhile, they got in at a penny and you're getting in at a dollar, and you think that's a great sell, and they're actually selling to you at that dollar price point, thus making them even richer. So you have to understand that if you're really going to throw your money into a project, make sure that it's a project that's legit. Um, like you have to do your due diligence on that. So that's investing. Investing is really doing your due diligence on a project, a company, an idea, whatever the case may be, right? So the best way, once you found that project, which is the fun part, the easy part is how you invest into it. All right. So you may have projects where it's like, okay, yeah, I really want to hold this for the long term. This about to be my long term project. I see this company doing well in 5, 10 years. So dollar cost averaging is your best thing, right? I do this with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I'm starting to put a couple other cryptos in that compounding um, section like Chainlink and Polkadot. Um, but dollar cost averaging simply means that you're putting a set amount into the crypto regardless of the price every period, whether it's a week, a month, every time you get paid, whatever the case may be. It's just like how your 401k may be for those of you guys that have them. You're just putting money into it regardless, and it's called compounding because you're obviously earning from the interest or appreciation of the overall crypto, but you're putting money into it regardless of that price. So you'll get an average price that you bought in at that crypto as opposed to a solid price. So if you got $5,000 you're about to put into it, spread that 5,000 um, across, I don't know, 5, 6 months, right? Put 1,000 into it every month, and see you'll get an average price as opposed to putting it in at one price. Now, the little old lady strategy simply means that you are selling half of the cryptos that you have, for certain cryptos, not all cryptos, right? Let's say you find a crypto project, you're like, I think this thing's about to pump, or even yeah, with those small projects that you guys like hopping into, um, use the little old lady strategy with it. You can't lose. What that simply means is you are selling half of the amount of that crypto that you have every time it doubles in price. So if this crypto goes 100%, right? That means it went from $1 to $2. You're going to sell half of the amount that you have. And the first half that you sell will be like, well, every half that you sell will be the amount that you put into it. So if I put in $5,000 into a crypto and it went from $1 to $2, I now have $10,000. So I'm gonna sell half of that and take out my $5,000 out of it. And then every time it doubles again, right, from $2 to $4, I'm gonna have $10,000 again, and I'm gonna take out another $5,000 and just keep doing that every time it doubles. You would be amazed at how well that works because I've taken so many cryptos. Like I've woken up and had cryptos that doubled like 6 times overnight. And you could just take one of those doubles, put it into another crypto, and let them do that. One time I was doing 10 of them at the same time during the bull run, and they all just kept doubling and kept giving me my money back. And you can preset these cells so you don't have to sit there and kind of watch this. You can preset these sell limits at those double prices, And when they hit while you're asleep or whatever, you just wake up to money. And I just let them double into Bitcoin. That's it. So little old lady strategy that will get you quick bucks when you're actually, buying and selling these cryptos, not just trading it on MT4. So where you would buy and sell at, I mean, there's centralized and uncentralized places. So that's your, Coinbase exchanges, your Binance, um, even your decentralized ones like, well, I don't like Pancake Swap, but Uniswap. So these are the actual exchanges that actually hold cryptocurrencies and which you can purchase them from. Think of it like a supermarket or something of cryptos, and you can actually buy the cryptos from them. So when you buy them, you sell them, right? You're swapping them. So whenever that crypto doubles or whatever, you're obviously selling that crypto back to them for whatever currency that you're looking to exchange it into. So and of course, one time buy or one time buys is just buying into a crypto one time and just letting it rock, right? Just you find a crypto that you think is promising and you just put one lump sum into it and letting it rock. So, but the primary reason that I wanted to do this was to help you guys understand the difference between trading cryptocurrencies, which you're not actually buying the crypto, but you're just trading the price, which is fine because it's great for quick cash and catching your pips and such. And then investing into a cryptocurrency, which is actually doing due diligence. Going through the crypto's website, going through their teams, following their team members on Twitter, which is another gem for y'all because those team members tend to drop information about that crypto before it hits the news waves. So you may be able to get into a crypto like I have a lot earlier than most of the public because you can see that hey, this crypto is about to drop a update for their cryptocurrency, and I've been told by the developer themselves, before Cointelegraph got it. Right, so you'll be able to take advantage of that. Couple that with your chart work, right? Being able to look at the chart and see income and volume and see those support and resistances. You'll be able to time those things to see that, hey, there's a lot of volume coming into this project. I wonder if it's based off of this quick little news that I just got. Whoop de whoop. That's how you got to play this thing, because it's an information game, and whoever got that quickest information, they're gonna profit, and that's how you guys do it. So doing your due diligence is going to play in the long run because you could have that same crypto be on MT4 too. So you could also buy into it and trade it, like I do. I trade Bitcoin and I invest into it. So any questions on the difference between the two or this? Like, do you guys understand this? All right, cool. I guess one person understands it. That's all I need. Just one motherfucker to get it. For the rest of y'all, if y'all don't get it, just speak up. It's I don't get it. If you don't get it, just speak up right here. But overall, let's look at Ethereum. Yeah, so this is yeah. So Ethereum BTC, Ethereum USD. All right, so with ETH, yeah, I used to love ETH back in the day, so don't mind all the stuff. I don't delete my lines, and that's a problem. Um, yeah, even these trades was popping. Yeah, even with ETH, it's the same thing. You find those major supports. I need to clean up this ETH chart, but it's just me, like, just doing it for me. But you find those support levels, and you just take your buys, take your sells, and you go about your business. But I'm seeing a nice little double bottom here um, on both charts. I forgot to point it out on Bitcoin, but this is bullish. Um, yeah, it's W here. This is a bullish pattern. Um, so same little trick to measuring the W's. You start at the top of the middle part of the W. You come to the same, like to the bottom, um, even line, and you measure from the breakout, which will be above that. Sorry, this ain't straight, but this will be a target, which coincides with the green line that I got. So first target will be 3168 once we break out of this W. The middle of the W is usually a resistance as well, just so y'all know. It's like the neckline pretty much, however y'all want to call it. But either way, this is all I wanted to show y'all for right now. There's a lot of stuff that I'm about to drop into the Discord, um, the the uh, the Crypto Corner Discord. So you guys will, well, we'll give you guys information on how to access all of that. Um, but you guys also have, we'll give you guys a way to access these videos as well, because this is being recorded. You can also, keep studying and everything yourself, and yeah, um, go from there. We're just trying to make y'all more proficient in trading and see how we trade, and then y'all can develop your own, techniques. The whole point is for y'all to develop your own techniques. Any questions before I go? Because I just looked at that GJ. I don't trade currencies like that, but when I do, it's gonna be a hit. All right, if y'all got no questions, I'm gonna holla at y'all in the chat. Y'all be easy.